Hello students, today we are going to explore one of the most profound and enduring poems in American literature because I could not stop for Death by Emily Dickinson. This poem offers a unique and thought-provoking perspective on death, not as something to fear but as a calm and inevitable journey. Emily Dickinson was an American poet and also one of the most important figures in American poetry, is known for her recursive life and also deeply introspective works. Though only a few of her poems were published during her lifetime, she wrote nearly 1,800 poems, most of the poems published posthumously. So I hope you know the meaning of posthumous. If any work is published after the death, it is called posthumous work. So many of her works published posthumously. Because I could not stop for death. So from the title itself, we can very well understand the level of acceptance from the poet. She is not afraid of the death, but she is quite welcoming about the death. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. So here she personified death as a gentleman. The speaker is too busy with life to think about death, but suddenly death comes for her gently. The carriage right here symbolizes the journey from life to afterlife. Here she personified death as a gentleman, and also she personified immortality as a third passenger. Here it clearly indicates that this is not just the end but a transition from life to afterlife. We slowly drove. He knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too, for his civility. Yes, because death comes in all of a sudden, she didn't expect, but still she accepts death. Here, after life, there is no need to worry about anything. There is no need to do anything in a routine way. So that is why she describes he knew no haste. So that is why she gave up all her labor and also pleasure. So in the third stanza, we passed the school where children at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of and gazing grain. We passed the settling sun. So they pass familiar scenes like a school, a grain field, and also the setting sun. Each of this represent different stages of life, childhood, maturity, and the end of the life. Here, the sunset, it is a symbol of death, whereas the sunrise, it is a symbol of birth. In the third stanza, or rather, he passed us. Uh, the dew drew quivering angel for only gossamer, my gown, my tippet only tune. Here in this stanza, she describes she becomes too cold, dressed in a thin gown. So it's usually that is the routine when we observe funeral for something. So obviously the person who passed away dressed up in a gossamer, usually the dead bodies are too cold. So in the same way, the narrator, as she is dead, she also experienced extreme coldness. This could also represent the body's physical death, while the soul continues to journey for afterlife. We passed before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, a cornice in the ground. So here in the fifth stanza, we can clearly understand the pause at what seems to be burial site, in which she describes as a house, that too a swelling of the ground. It obviously symbolizes a grave. Hereafter, that is going to be her home. So that is why she is describing as be paused before a house because it is just a transition. She didn't consider it as a death. It is just a transition from life to afterlife. That is why she is describing grave as a home. Next stanza, since then it's centuries and it feels shorter than the day. I first surmised the horse heads way toward eternity. The final stanza reflects on how long the speaker has been dead. So it has been centuries. She realizes that the journey she began with death centuries ago. It feels just like only yesterday. The horse's heads pointing toward eternity. It signifies this journey is never ending. As I mentioned before, it is just a transition from life to afterlife. So here we can also analyze about the themes. So we can clearly understand the followings are the themes: death and immortality, passage of time, calmness in facing death. So this is very important. We need not worry about death. So Dickinson portrayal of death is quite peaceful and even comforting. So this is it another important aspect in this poem. And ultimately, this poem reminds us that poetry can be a profound space for reflecting on life's greatest mysteries, and that even in contemplating death. Here in this poem, Dickinson offers us a strange kind of peace because it is not necessary that we have to be afraid about death. Even we can welcome a death with open arms because even after that, there is a life. She talks about afterlife. She pacifies the readers that death is not a fearsome one because even after death we have afterlife. She is talking about eternity. So this is quite a peculiar poem and also offers the readers uh, the different perspective of death. That's all from the that's all from this poem. Thank you.